If I were to ask you what the worst trope in Dungeons & Dragons is, what would you say? The ultimate power gaming min-maxer? Maybe your chaotic neutral, it's what my character would do rogue? Or maybe your classic horny bard? Well, welcome to part 2 of the Master Debater Dungeons & Dragons edition, the worst trope in Dungeons & Dragons. If you have no idea what I'm talking about or what any of this is, please watch the first couple minutes of this video linked right here. But long story short, I had 2 Dungeons & Dragons players debate what the worst trope in D&D was, and they were judged on it. What you are about to see was streamed live on my twitch.tv channel, link in the description below. So once you're done watching, be sure to leave a like on this video and comment down below one who you think should have won the debate, and what you think the worst Dungeons & Dragons trope is, and enjoy. We're gonna go with Professor Raptor Biscuit versus No Man. I need you both to give me the absolute worst D&D trope that exists and why it should not exist. You get to remove the trope. This is your opportunity. What is it and why? Sparky with a $15. Oh God, I believe this is another half cut here. Who are we cutting? Whose time are we cutting in half? Who are we doing? Not Gnome.
Oh, so me. Okay.
All right. So Professor Afterbiscuit, you're gonna have to speed run.
Okay.
Your debate. Just call a coin flip.
That's fine.
You just call a coin flip. Whatever works.
Heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. It is tails. No Man, first or second?
What do you want to do?
No, you get to decide. You decide.
Yeah, you won the coin flip, so you get to decide. Also, chat, gamble your points.
I'm gonna go first.
All right, Gnome Ann electing to go first. And the timer, again, on the screen. Gnome Ann, you are going first. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Your time begins now.
So D&D has a lot of very problematic tropes if you go back into the history of it. But you know what? Putting that aside for a second, I want to say as a player, as a DM, as a group of people just hanging out in a mystical realm, the worst thing that anyone can bring to the party is a wet blanket paladin. The lawful good, stuck up, boring ass paladin. Not only is this a flat character, very little room for dynamic things. Everyone knows how they're going to react to every situation. In addition to that, they kill the party dynamics. Nothing ruins a rogue's, a bard's, sorcerer's, a warlock's day like a paladin just rocking in all their shiny armor. Similarly, lawful good paladins are just glorified cops. And who wants to bring cops into your party? Nobody. There is the quickest way to tank a campaign. You know what's fun? Running campaigns based on crime. Follow the 2 campaigns in here, like me and Commander, that are both about crime. Additionally, paladins have a very strong ability set, and it's incredibly limited by this alignment choice. Paladins have incredibly high charisma. We were talking about horny bards. Where are my fucking horny paladins at? You got those charisma rolls. You can come in with that persuasion. You got all these ethics in your way. Those are just holding you down. I want you to show up and negotiate and seduce. I want you to try and fuck the dragon. Be the horny paladin you want to see in the world.
And that's time.
Thank you.
And that's time. Professor Raptor Biscuit, 45 seconds to you.
Okay.
For what is the worst trope in Dungeons & Dragons. 45 seconds on the clock. Your time begins now.
Balanced RPG party trope. We don't need the healer, the tank, the DPS. We don't need that in this game. Let's have a party of all rogues. Let's have a party of all wizards. Let's make them squishy. Let's turn this game that was supposed to be a heroes campaign into a crime campaign, like you said. All right? I want my party of all rogues. Let's make a thief, a swashbuckler, a scout. My current campaign has no tanks. We've got a rogue, 2 wizards, a wizard, a warlock, and a cleric. We have the most fun because we got to figure out weird ways of getting around situations. All right? We're like, oh, we got an army of hobgoblins. Let's just summon an angel to fight for us instead, and we'll leave. Goodbye. I prefer my parties to have... If you don't want to be balanced, by all means, leave the DM up to fixing the encounters to make these fun for everybody. Make the DM work for it a little bit, okay?
And that's time. All right, No Man, back over to you. 1 minute 30. Why are you right? And Professor Afterbiscuit is wrong. Your time begins now.
As a DM, we work. I got binders here about how much of my players' bullshit I'm trying to navigate and improv around at any given second of any given day. I do not need you rolling in here with 5 sorcerers, because you know what? 2 words: empowered fireball, total party kill. Like, if you roll in here with no tanks, no healers, you brought an entire team with all the same weakness. And that's just gonna hold back against narratively, but also gonna hold you back mechanically. But you know what is a well-rounded character all in one? A paladin, a cool paladin, not like those other paladins. You got your charisma and persuasion side of a rogue or bard. You got the healing abilities of a bard or cleric. And what's that? Level 1, 18 AC? What is this tank power? You are now the whole well-rounded party in one person. So fine, let the other people be their squishy DPS like they all wanted to be anyway, and let your edgelord be a rogue. But you need someone to hold down the fort, and that role belongs to and will always belong to the Horley Paladin. I rest my case.
Okay, all right. Professor Raptor Biscuit, 45 seconds. Back to you.
Oh, wow, it's for both of them. Okay.
This is the last opportunity of uninterrupted time you're going to get. Make your case. Your time begins now.
Well, you just proved my point, because you just said everybody's one part. All you need is a paladin. Well, sure, have all paladins. You got your healer paladin, you've got your defensive paladin, you got your battle paladin. Everybody can be a paladin at once, and you still have a balanced party. You can have unbalanced parties that are so unbalanced they become a balanced party. Okay, like I said, if you want to have sorcerers, you can have the divine soul so that you can heal. You got your shadow for stealth. You've got your storm for damage. You got your draconic for tank, and your wild magic for your wild card bard. All right. You can, like I said, every class has subclasses, and you can have them all together. You don't need a fully balanced party with a fighter, a cleric, and a healer. Make everybody a paladin. It works out just fine. Everybody still bends into their own role. It just looks different. And as a DM as well, if you can't handle the improv, get better.
Time.
Oh, the get good argument.
All right, 1 minute.
I figured out how to put my clock on the screen if you want me to help with that.
Oh, hey.
Ooh,
that works.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did that, and then it freezes my cameras.
I got your back if you need it. Just let me know.
All right. I think maybe next round. We'll try it out. We'll try it out. Why not? So 1 minute back and forth between both of you. Both of your times begin now.
If your argument requires people subverting their own classes to make a party that is operational, first off, you're already not playing into the class's strengths. Second off, just try to make it to level 3. I want to see you all
I've made
coming
level 3.
in here at
My party's level
1 with no
14,
tank.
and we've got we got rogues and wizards. That's the entire party, and it still works. We're level 12 right now, and I'm just planned ahead. I'm like, you know what? This is what they want to play. I'm gonna let my players have some fun with this. All right. And it's been a hell of a campaign. We've gone to the Feywild.
I'm a DM, not a babysitter, okay?
I'm a DM too.
Players can roll their own characters, and they should roll characters that can operate in the world. I'm here
My characters
to
operate in the world
invite
just
you
fine.
on
I
an
didn't babysit
adventure, not to mollycoddle you.
I'm not mollycoddling them either. They've died a few
God.
times. They've almost died, and they figured out ways to bring them back. I'm not here to babysit either. They are
The rogues? Oh, we love those resurrecting rogues. Those are my
you'd be
favorite
surprised.
kinds.
All right, look. No, my rogues didn't resurrect. My cleric did, though. And sure, we got the healer, but we don't have a tank.
And that's time. That is time. Let's just do a random order this time. Cinnabon, who did it better and why?
So this one was really fucking tough. And I did change my mind a few times. I don't think I actually made up my mind entirely yet, even. Professor Raptor Biscuit kept saying, like, a non-balanced team, but then went on to say that, like, his the campaign that they were referring to was like wizards, rogues, and then clerics as well. So it sounds like they're trying to, like, balance each other out to an extent. So instead, yeah, I think, and also in terms of, like, well balanced, the way you were making it sound was that, like, oh, you can have the same class and still balance each other out. So I kind of lost the, like, main role, or, like, the main argument to an extent. But also I still agree with the sentiment that you can have, like, fun with a non-balanced team. All right, one sec. It's getting warm in here. I think the heater's on. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna quit words.
Stalling?
Stalling.
Yeah, no, it's not stalling. It's just like my train of thought just like disappeared for a half sec. And I'm gonna go with gnomes because horny paladins.
All right, gnome and 1 vote there. Nate takes who did it better.
Okay, so I really liked Gnome's argument in that first round, going in with the lawful stupid paladins, because I hate that too. It's so dumb, and she's completely right about, you know, nobody wants a cop to show up at the party, and she explained it really well. However, on the second round, Gnome's argument kind of fell apart. It imploded on itself. At first, it was like, I hate the trope of the lawful good paladin, and then it went to like, oh, you should play a paladin. And I that's where I lost out completely. While Professor Raptor Biscuit the entire time was on the same thing, that you should completely meme on the fact that balanced parties are stupid. And he never lost track of that. For that alone, and the fact that you had 45 seconds, bro, and I know it sucks. My vote's gonna go for Raptor Biscuit. So yeah, that's that.
All right, 1 for Professor Raptor Biscuit. It's now tied. Professor Exile gifting 3 tier 1 subs to bank a halftime round against Shrub the DM. Whenever Shrub the DM goes, he will have halftime for voting wrong in the first round. That is some petty shit right there. But with that, we must continue. Joe Cat, who did it better?
So I like both of these sentiments. However, I was more on Mr. Raptor Biscuit's side about, yeah, fuck party balance. However, I mirror what Cinnabon said, how the second round, Raptor Biscuit, I was hoping that you would go all in on the fuck balance thing, but then you were like, oh yeah, they'll balance themselves out because of all the archetypes. I'm like, no, tell me why 4 scouts would work. Tell me why, you know, three sorcerers, all of the storm will work. But I feel like you didn't go into that. Whereas Gnome, I feel like her argument to not play the boring paladin, at the beginning I was like, well, I mean, that could still work. Look at Superman from the Justice League cartoon. He's like the boring paladin, but he's still interesting in his own ways. But then she said, like, where's the horny paladins? I'm like, yeah, where are the horny paladins? And I don't think her argument for why you should play a paladin in the second round harmed that at all, because I don't think that was her argument. Her argument was why not to not play paladins, but not to play boring paladins. And then, you know, she brought up her own points and made me excited to play a non-conventional paladin. So,
all right,
I'll say Gnome Man.
Gnome Ann, another vote for Gnome Ann. Moving on, Tailspin, who did it better?
You know, in that last round, it kind of felt like, if I were to envision it as like a battle, like as far as like just debating style, like Gnome is swinging and Professor Raptor Biscuit was more blocking. So kind of just like responding back to her points and just being like, kind of like trying to defend against the things she was saying. And so for that, I think she kind of had a more like, for just pure like, who is coming at the debate a little bit stronger.
All right, so that's another one for Gnome and Commander. Who did it better?
I've been flip-flopping back and forth. They both came at it, I think, with interesting points. I do agree with Joe Cat that I think what really is flipping me here is that Raptor Biscuit, although coming out with an argument that I totally agree with and that I love, I do think you backtracked in the second round. You backtracked on yourself. And in this case, I think it would have been a good time for a white lie. I think it would have been a good time for you to just be like, no, fuck it. We have a party that's running that's perfect. It's got 3 rogues and it's fucking awesome and we don't need a healer. I feel like it would have been a good time for that. And instead you went with the good thing to do, which is to tell the truth. I just think that you kind of acted like a paladin there. I'm going to go with Gnome.
All right, Shrub.
And not a horny paladin.
Shrub, who did it better?
So I mean, both brought up good points, but I'm gonna have to give this one to Gnome, because not only did she in the first round explain why being the stereotypical paladin's boring, but in her second round she explained so many other better ways to play a paladin. And I mean, it's a super good class, but 9 times out of 10 when a player grabs it, they're that lawful stick in the mud, and it just blocks everything for the whole party. So yeah, I gotta give it to Gnome on this one.
All right.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I think Raptor, if you would have had more time and if you hadn't been cut off, I think you would have been able to maybe bring that one
True,
back. You seemed a
true.
I
little
can
rushed.
agree.
Yeah, it seemed like you had a speed run or something. But with
Wait a
that,
second, let's see if it's a pattern when Shrub has to argue and he has only 45 seconds and
Yeah,
loses.
hey, we'll see. But with that, Gnome Ann, with also chat vote, is going to take the round. Congratulations, Gnome Ann, on your victory. Welcome to the judges' table, Professor Raptor Biscuit.